All right, good day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me on this great episode of your favorite political talk show, The Truth with Ben Jokes. Now, the entire events that surrounded the 2023 presidential election have come and gone. We are now left with the consequences. After politicians and INEC robbed us of our mandate, we desperately looked onto the judiciary to do what was right, but they also refused. They turned the constitution on its head, and here we are. The consequences. Sometime in March, the NBA president Yakubu Miyakao-san cried out over the state of the nation as regards insecurity. He said he could no longer sleep with his two eyes closed in his village in the north. This was the same man who attacked Obedience for saying all eyes on the judiciary, called Obedience all sort of names. Sometime in April, two magistrates were kidnapped in the southwest. One of the appeal court judges on the presidential election petition tribunal panel was promoted. Perhaps that was his own reward for allowing injustice. But on the day of his decoration, he slumped and there was no first aid around. Before they could say Jack on getting to the hospital, he was dead. That was how he passed on in shame. We heard of how attempts were made on the lives of judicial officers in Kano about a month ago, and few hours ago, Obedience began to mock judges and the Nigerian judiciary as news broke out of the kidnap of another judge. Kidnapped alongside his wife and two others. Before I show you that update and the mockery from Obedience, let me quickly show you this video. While men like Peter Obi would leave behind legacy of honesty, integrity, hard work, and peak performance, look at the legacy that Professor Gbajue Wole Soyinka will be leaving behind. See this video.
Primary purpose of government is to protect the lives and property of citizens. If government cannot provide security, it has no business being there. But we still have a long way to go. Our big problem in Edo is no longer kidnapping as such. Our big problem in Edo, from the security reports we have, is homicide, killings of people. And these killings is mainly as a result of the activities of cultists and community youths. How can you imagine a young girl just graduated and goes to school to collect her results, and people attack her, rape her, and kill her in Benin? This happened a few days ago. It's only sick minds that will do such things. People are possessed who belong to all sorts of crazy groups calling themselves cults and ukayeles. Those are the sort of people, those are the sort of things they do. So the church must join us and help us, that we have to wipe out cultism. We don't need such devious and heinous groups anymore for progress. That is the biggest threat we face today in Edo State, cultism. Boys wake up and they just needlessly kill each other in the name of rivalry.
You heard that. That was Governor Godwin Obaseki talking about the menace of cultism in Edo State. And it is not only in Edo State. The entire southern Nigeria is suffering from it. And we all know that it was Wole Soyinka that brought secret cults. He introduced cultism into this country. Look at the extent of harm that Soyinka has caused. And just because we decided to honor him because of a Nobel laurel that he won for himself, he feels he is special. No, sir. You are not special. You have actually done more harm than good. And as soon as Nigerians saw this video, they began calling out Soyinka. Look at how Nigerians reacted. Let's take some of the tweet reactions. Mr. Casey here says, Soyinka's legacy. That is it. And Frank says, Soyinka should be held responsible. Oh, Honest here says, Soyinka's evil gift to Nigeria. That is it. And the Chris says, now that professor handwork, he's talking about Professor Wole Soyinka And Leah Sharibu here says, Professor Gbajue Soyinka would not like this. Of course, he won't like this, but there's nothing he can do about it. It will live with him forever. And Ree here says, Wole Soyinka, they are talking to you. But Oga Mayor says the government should make implantable laws that will curtail the excesses of cultism and not the church. You are right there. It behoves the government to know how to curb the menace of cultism in their state. But on this occasion, we have chosen to attack the man that brought cultism into Nigeria, even as he has unrepentantly continued to support the evil of the APC. Now, let us look at that update on how that judge, his wife, and 2 others were abducted by Boko Haram. Look at how the papers reported it. Boko Haram abduct High Court judge, wife, 2 others in Borno. A High Court judge, Justice Haruna Michelia, his wife, driver, and Audley were abducted by the Boko Haram terrorists along Biu to Maiduguri Road on Monday, June 24, 2024. Sources said Justice Michelia, who is working with Borno State High Court in Maiduguri, was traveling in his vehicle accompanied by his driver, a security escort, and his wife. As they approached a curve on the road between Buratai and Bonigari, a group of armed men emerged from the bush and barricaded the road. The judge's vehicle screeched to a halt, then attempted to maneuver its way to escape. Unfortunately, in the chaos that ensued, Justice Michelia's vehicle was stopped by another team of insurgents, taking them hostage and later whisked them into the Sambisa forest. Recall that Damaturi Boniyadi Buratai Biu 120 kilometers road has remained a death trap for many years, considering its deplorable condition faced by motorists and passengers, as it is the only route that links over 5 local government areas of southern Borno, Biu, Hawul, Bayo, Shani, Kwaya, Kusha, etc. to Maiduguri, the state capital, due to inability to reopen the Maiduguri-Biu road. You heard that? The judiciary are a big part of the corruption, of the rot in the Nigerian system. Only 3 days ago, the governor of Zamfara recounted how his state caught bandits who had confessed to killing Nigerians, and they handed the bandits over to the law for prosecution. But just 2 days after they handed them over to the law, the bandits were released in a high court in Abuja. So the judiciary, the judges, they are part of the rot in the system. But when the sky falls, it is not one man's business. Look at what they did during the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal. They collected some billions to twist the constitution. But now they cannot move freely in their own country. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Look at some of the tweet reactions. This tweet here by Son of the South South says, if the judge they give useless judgment, now is the time for BOKO boys to tell him objection overruled. Oh, and this tweet by Jeffrey says, BOKO boys have done very well this time. They should go after judges and politicians. Let them leave the poor masses alone. They should also come for the old men at the Supreme Court. Injustice to one is injustice to all. This is just the beginning. Nonsense judges. I'm telling you, they will get all of them. Kanayo here says, they are the ones collecting huge money to free Boko Haram members. They just did that a few days ago. And Akim Adebowale says, maybe they want to ask him his view about the Presidential Tribunal judgment. Oh, and Philip says, where justice and equity is denied, where people are made to feel less of humans, neither the oppressors or their agents will be saved. That is true. And Dunia here says, no sympathy for judges. They support all the ills our country is in, but we still hope for a better future. Well, we still hope if we do the right thing, we'll have a great future. But if we fold our arms, my brother, nothing will happen. And that takes me to this update by popular obedient Tenny Bukos. Tenny Bukos is a man from Ekiti State, and he posted this video on his X account this morning, to charge up the Nigerian youths for the task ahead. And before the video, he wrote this: aside being a Twitter warrior, can you deliver your polling unit for Peter Obi? Any noise here without offline input is like a soup without salt, because 2027 will be tougher than 2023. I delivered my polling unit in 2023 and I will do it again in 2027 even if Tinubu sleeps at my polling unit. And he followed it up with this video.
Obedient
for life.
We won our polling unit.
We promised to win our polling unit.
Yes.
And we just delivered that.
Yes,
we just delivered that.
Yes.
You can't beat the rich.
Exactly.
You can't beat the
You
rich.
can't. You
Peter
can't.
Obi is like a lily among the thorns.
You saw that. Mr. Tenny delivered his polling units. Many other Nigerians did. When we tell you we got the most votes in that election, we know exactly what we are talking about. Even in Ogun State or Osun State, we got votes. Our votes were massive, but APC foot soldiers stole them. That is why Nigerians must give it everything next time. The first thing that obedience must achieve, and any party that Peter Obi will run under, is an agent in all the polling units in Nigeria. There were 176,974 polling units in the last election. Maybe there will be 200,000 next time, but we must have agents for Peter Obi in all those polling units, so that first of all, we have our own results in our hands. Then the laws that have to do with, transmitting results from the polling unit straight to the IREV must be followed. Must be followed. Nigerians must be on the street. That's why I keep saying all hands must be on deck, because you need massive number from everywhere to be able to achieve this. And the local sensitization, grassroots movement, that one has already started. We have already started that. It's moving on, and we believe it's going to get bigger and bigger as we draw nearer to the D-Day. Let's get ready to kick the APC out of power. But until then, make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una I dey here, so don't go away.